rehash this again. He says he saw my analysis of my interview. It was shocking. What a dumb MFer you are. How about you do some actual research, talk to guys at Buds, look into my training records before you open your ignorant mouth about me.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're dealing with right here. What is up, guys? You're tuning in to NickyMGTV for another video. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below. If you do have questions, always make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, all that stuff. I say that very fast because everybody skips past this part, but I want to make sure I can help out the people that are here and want to know more about this or whatever else. The beginning of this video, that is footage from a YouTuber known as Jameson Travels. He's often known as the boomer Marine Corps veteran that reacts to every video that is out there. If anything, I gotta commend the guy because he's putting out like 3 videos a day. I didn't even know there were this many military videos out there, or else I would have been making my reactions myself. But you know what? I can only commend him because he's been growing like crazy. Now, where did this beef start? This beef started between Jameson Travels. Not really beef, I would say, at all. It was he made a reaction video to one of his interviews where he talks about his time as a Navy SEAL. And I've also done my own reaction video of that, which did very well. And honestly, we called him out. There was just not much you could say to say that he was telling the truth on a lot of the stuff that he talks about with medical stuff that I know for a fact that was wrong. And on top of that, like just basic military stuff that you could really call it like you are embellishing so much of this. It is insane. And this is even blown over into his other new life here on Instagram as the fake, I guess Hugh Hefner of right now, if you want to. People hate when I say that, but the fake Hugh Hefner of where we're at right now online. Also, it is blown over into his real life business of Ignite, which is actually a company that he has brought money back into because it was doing horrendous. Yes, Dan, your company's doing bad. I'm sorry, but any basic person that knows finances knows that just because you put your money back in to raise some of the stock, that is like a band-aid to your whole entire problem. The fact that the company doesn't make good decisions and is not doing very well against its competitors. He takes to Twitter on some of this and says the following: all the dumbass journalists patiently waiting for Ignite to go bankrupt. Yeah, Dan, that's because there's a lot of major debt issues with your company and ability to actually move product. So let's just leave that there. He continues to go on and say, the media is such a joke, these motherfuckers couldn't predict a fart. Well, Dan, you couldn't predict the crash of your company either. By the way, also, you're so scared of being exposed. Airrack made a video at one of your parties, which you had to bring legal action. Got your back, Airrack. Go to 1 million. We got you, bro. And his final tweet here says, it should be a felony offense for a news outlet to knowingly report false information. And Dan, I know you're not the brightest bulb in the entire world at all, but there's a thing called defamatory speech, and you could say that there were false statements made that made you lose monetary value and things like that. That sounds like something you legally could do. You have a lawyer which you could talk to about this, but you know that would take a lot of money, a lot of time, and you don't have either of those. Lastly, I want to throw this bit of information where he says this. Watching grown men do stupid dances on TikTok to try and be relevant is kind of sad. Dan, it's kind of sad that you are your age trying to stay relevant by showing that you are this playboy faking everything on social media to try and prove that you have any value left. So this is the military part of the video where we get into it, where he personally came after Jameson Travels. Like I said, he's a Marine vet, and I will not take this away. He is a Navy veteran, and that is true. Now, what's not true is all the stuff he talks about with being a Navy SEAL, where there's a lot of disparities there. Vets don't fight like that. Very rarely. There would have to be something very divisive that would really make a veteran go against another veteran, like if that was the case. On top of that, if Dan was so confident in all of his skills and all of his money and all of his wits, he wouldn't need to write this to Jameson Travels. This is literally, you can tell, the fall. He's coming after anyone and everyone right now. Jameson Travels has like 300,000 subscribers. That's in the realm of like social media and how many Instagram followers Dan Bilzerian has. That's very small. My last point to make about Dan Bilzerian and his entire time in the military with the classes that he was in Buds, supposedly there are 3 classes he was part of. Have you guys noticed, and I will tell you this, like This was how many years ago he went to Buds. Okay, so keep that in mind. Most of those people are probably out of the military or the Navy specifically at this point. Not a soul, not a single freaking soul has claimed this man to have any effect, bearing, willingness to step up and say, yes, I served with Dan Bilzerian. Not a bad guy. You would think there would be some divide. There would be somebody out there like, hey, this guy's actually getting bashed all over the place. And that's because service members stick together for the majority of the time. And if he was a halfway decent human being, somebody would have came out to cover his ass. And not a single person has, Dan. And no one's going to cover you out of your fake, phony schemes on Instagram or wherever else you are where you're trying to bash everyone and say it's fake news. The fact that you're going down. I'm sorry. Dan, I'm going to show you how it's done, how the veteran community, how the military community does it. We take care of our own. He's our boomer. He's our vet. Jameson Travels, we got your back. Just saying. If you ever need support, don't worry. We got you. And if you want to check out his channel as well, you can definitely see that. It's definitely much bigger than I am. But to finish off this video, I will say, Dan, just as bad as the scheme is that you've made all your money from poker playing, which is... God, this is like an onion. We can't even take away all the myths that have actually been there. You got to fold. But we are calling your bluff, Dan, and I hope that everything finally comes to light as this continues, and it is very well known and observed why everything is going the way it is. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you guys have not watched my video covering my review and reaction to his SEAL video in lies, you can definitely check that out up there. I promise you it is worth the watch. And on top of that, if you guys do have questions about this or anything else, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.